Welcome to Airgun Extra, brought to you in association with Crackshot, the Southwest's premier airgun centre and ranges. In this week's episode I'm taking a look at some brilliant airgun silencers, but before that I'm heading out to ambush some rabbits. Right, I'm back out on the rabbits this evening. The ground we're going to be shooting over is a mixture of cattle grazing and pony paddocks, and apart from the fact that the rabbits are causing damage by burrowing into the banks, there's the usual risk of horses and ponies becoming injured if the hoof goes down a rabbit's burrow. Now I'm actually feeling pretty optimistic about this shoot because I came for a look around yesterday evening and there were quite a few rabbits around. Now they also seemed not to be too wary. Now that said, I've seen it before that when you come for a recce the rabbits are pretty confident, and that can change very quickly once you start shooting, so I'm not going to be too blasé about it. We'll try and be pretty stealthy. I'm going to get myself settled in and we'll catch up again then. Well, that one didn't take too long. It was out in that shady corner. It was sat bolt upright. I'm not surprised there's two of us here, obviously, and it had no doubt sensed something. Got on and took the shot, and yeah, nice clean kill nonetheless. Now, I don't want to talk too much now that we're in position, but I will just give you a quick run through, where I am and why. So, I've tucked myself in the corner of quite a narrow field, which enables me to cover the opposite bank. Based on what I saw when I came yesterday evening, I'm within fairly comfortable range of where I expect the rabbits to be emerging, and that one so far proved that theory correct. Now, as I usually prefer, I'm shooting off a bipod, down on my belly. I like that because it keeps me off the skyline. It's really good for stealth, but also means I've got very stable shots. Yeah, all being well, we'll get a few more. Those rabbits were eager to get out and feed. There were actually several out at once then. Unfortunately, the pellet made a hell of a whack as it hit home. It spooked the others and they've run in, but I'm fairly sure, having seen how eager they are to come out, they'll be back out again before too long. And in fact, to that end, I'm not running out to retrieve shot rabbits. As long as I'm confident that it's a clean kill, I'll leave them there and retrieve them at the end of the session, because I don't want to be stomping around over the burrows causing vibrations that will spook the rabbits and obviously make them afraid to come back above ground. If I leave that area quiet and undisturbed, as I've said, I'm pretty confident they'll soon be back out. Well, that one was about 27 metres away. That's just a little bit closer than my zero range with this setup, so I gave it just a touch of hold under and it was another pinpoint headshot. Now, I know my ranges because, as per usual, I did my ranging when we got here. I've got a few markers that I know the distance to. I'm using them as reference points when the rabbits come out, so I'm not having to wave the rangefinder around. That said, that rabbit was on pretty high alert. It could definitely sense that something was going on. I went ahead and took the shot pretty quickly without messing about with the focus, so apologies if that one looks slightly blurry through the scope cam. That one was very close. Probably about 20 metres. Again, it seemed to be on edge. No surprise at that range. So I didn't want to delay in case it spooked. So once again, I didn't fine tune the focus, so apologies if it is slightly out of focus on the footage. Well, a classic headshot rabbit cartwheel there, and I'm also pretty sure that I managed to get it into sharp focus on the scope cam, but I'm afraid that's going to have to be the last one because the yard where we have to park here gets locked up and we don't want to get locked in. I'm told I will soon be getting a key, and that's really good news because I can only imagine that shooting here will just get better and better as the light fades. But we've had a great couple of hours. And I've got to say, the ground's rock hard. I won't be sorry to get up and move about a bit, but this really is one of my favourite forms of summer shooting. As I said at the start, I'm off the Skyline, dead stable shooting platform. And on top of that, although we're here for pest control, these look like nice clean rabbits. So I'm also going to be going home with some decent meat for the pot. So I'm going to head off and get them picked up, and we will leave you with a roundup of the kit that we shot when we got here. Right, well, to save you from having to ask, I will just quickly run through the kit from this shoot. So the gun is the Daystate Huntsman Revere Safari Edition. I use this gun a lot. I've actually got two of them. It's just a really accurate multi-shot PCP. It's got that side lever action, very dependable. I really like the Safari stock too. The adjustable cheek piece obviously helps with gun fit, but also I think its dark tones just make it look a little bit more subtle in the field. So this one is 177 caliber, sub 12 foot-pounds, and I've paired it with JTS dead center pellets, the 10 grain version. They're pellets that I use a lot in several of my airguns now. This one in particular groups really tight with them, gives fantastic results. The scope is the MTC King Cobra. Again, this is one of my go-to optics. I think for its price point, its optical performance is absolutely brilliant, and I've got it held on as ever with sports match scope mounts. I've been using them for decades, and as I keep on saying, they have just never let me down. One thing I would say quickly about the scope, again, it's something I often point out, is the fact that obviously the quality of the image that you'll see in the scope cam footage could be slightly compromised because the GoPro has got a tiny lens, and on top of that it also hinges on my ability to focus in properly. What else have we got? The other thing is probably the moderator. That's the Eagle Vision Cam Helia, caliber specific. I think it suits this gun really well in terms of looks, but it also does a great job of hushing it down. And having mentioned Eagle Vision Cam and the scope camera, it's actually the same company that makes the scope cam mount that I'll be using to film through. So yeah, I think that's the main kit items for this shoot. All being well, you've just seen me shooting a few rabbits with it. Don't forget to give us a follow on the Airgun Extra Facebook page so we can keep you up to date with all of the videos and articles that we're putting out. Right then, next up, I'm taking a look at some silencers that don't just look great, but will also do a brilliant job of keeping your airgun quiet. Okay then, Rangerite have sent me a selection of silencers from Three-Legged Thing to try out, and I've been really impressed with them. Now, there was a huge and constant queue around the Three-Legged Thing stand at this year's British Shooting Show, and I can see why. Because their silencers, or moderators if you prefer, look absolutely fantastic and also happen to work very well too. Now, Three-Legged Thing have been around since 2010. Based in Great Britain, or Bedfordshire to be precise, they actually started out making high quality camera tripods, hence their name. Now, they recently moved into airgun accessories, starting out with silencers, and it's very clear to see that they are made with that same commitment to style, quality and performance. The range also includes rifle bags and gun saddles, and is soon to be extended to include shooting tripods, bipods and much, much more. Now, the silencers, which I'll be focusing on in this review, are covered by a 5-year warranty, and I have to say the packaging is absolutely stunning. It's really eye-catching, but also very informative. Right then, let's kick off with the reservoir mod. Now, this moderator is airgun specific, suitable for 177 and 22 caliber, and has a 1/2 inch UNF thread. Now, they come in a wide variety of colors. Check out the website to see them all, because I've only got these ones in black. Now, they're also available in either a wavy or chamfered finish. Now, they're just over 13 centimeters long, which is pretty compact, and they weigh around 136 grams. These lightweight, corrosion-resistant moderators feature a neat modular construction which comprises 5 separate chambers. Now, each of those chambers contains a carefully designed gasket made from compressed wool and polyester, which is 4 times the density of an acoustic panel. Now, those chambers don't just strip out noise, they also strip out turbulent air, which sets the pellet off on a much smoother flight path. Right, I'm going to actually refer to my notes now, because I actually did some noise testing. It wasn't very technical, but I want to get my facts right. So, Yeah, I was just using the decibel meter app on my mobile phone, and with no moderator at all, the sub 12 foot-pound airgun that I was using for the test, the phone was just in front of the muzzle and I got a reading of 105 decibels. Now I then used this hug-up moderator as a bit of a control. Now this is a decent silencer. I've used it for years, and with that on, the recording kit in the same position, I got a reading of 101 decibels. Now, with the more compact reservoir mod-on, which is about 4 centimeters shorter than the Hugget, I got an even lower reading of 99 decibels, which I think is seriously impressive. If you want something a bit bigger, then check out the Reservoir Mod XL, which costs £89.99. Now it's the same precision airgun silencer, also available in a wide range of colours, and either that chamfered, which this one is, or wavy finish, but it's bigger. It's got 8 of those chambers instead of 5. Now that makes it a bit longer at around 20 centimetres. It's also a little bit heavier, weighing in at just under 200 grams, but it also makes it quieter. Now once again, referring to my notes, in my not very scientific test, it gave a reading of 97 decibels. Now that's quieter than the standard model and a fair bit quieter than the Hugget. And of course, its modular design means that you could always shorten it by 1 or 2 chambers if you wanted to. Okay then, next up is the Modfather, and this really is the daddy of airgun moderators. It is a beautiful looking thing. There are loads of different colour schemes, so again, do check out the website if you want to see them all. Now, it also features a really clever interchangeable exoskeleton, which gives you a choice of 3 really neat designs. So you have got the slotted design, which retails for £129.99. The chevron design is £139.99, and the intricate spider web design is £149.99. Once again, the emphasis with the Modfather is very much on quality and performance. At 12 centimeters long, it's pretty short, but it has a large 45mm diameter to boost its volume. And on my scales, it weighs a shade under 220 grams, so it's not too heavy. Now, its chambers contain studio-grade acoustic foam, which, as you can imagine, does a brilliant job of soaking up noise. The Modfather samples that I've been sent are suitable for 177 and 22 calibers and have a 1/2-inch UNF thread, although I believe that other configurations are also available. Now, with this, again, it's quite a modular setup. You can add an extension tube to make it longer and quieter, and it is even possible to stack these moderators together. Now, back to my noise testing. And I did that as standard, just using it out of the box, no extension, no stacking. And I got a reading with this one of 97 decibels. So that's the same as the 20 centimeter long Reservoir Mod XL. And again, it's significantly quieter than the Hugget. I just think that that is fantastic performance for such a compact moderator. So that is a quick look at the main sound moderator offerings from Three-Legged Thing. As I've said, there are loads of different colour and design options for all models. From black for low-key hunting to serious bling to turn heads on the range. Now, the build quality of these precision British-made silencers is absolutely stunning, and they also do a fantastic job of reducing noise. Now, on top of that, you get that 5-year warranty. I've got to say, Three-Legged Thing is a real innovator, and I'm already very excited to see what's going to be coming next in their airgun accessory range.
Great British Shooting Show hits the NEC Birmingham from the 12th to the 14th of February 2027, the UK's biggest and best shooting event. Buy tickets online today.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this episode, but we've got loads more lined up for you, so do stay tuned. Thanks again to Crackshot. There's a link to their website in the show description, and thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. So we'll be back again very soon. Until then, enjoy your shooting and stay safe.